as always, deep in the abomination vaults, and you had decided that it might be time to seek some diplomatic relations with that strangely cultish group of um, humanoids in one of the chambers. Unfortunately, they were greatly disturbed by the fact that their quote-unquote prophet had been silenced by none other than you fine folk. Obviously, that made diplomacy very, very difficult, and it ended up being a battle not of wits or words, but of just weapons and spells. I think we've gone through several waves now, and you're currently fighting the reinforcements that had arrived after you dispatched the first group of cultists in here. And it is now Soma's turn. As we now know, the chamber is there's a fight between darkness and light going on here, and your light is currently overpowering the darkness that emanates from these creatures. So you should be able to see relatively well. But there are many other spells going on as well. So maybe let's go over those real quick so we understand what all the auras are. Anthony, can you remind us real quick of the Wall of Thorns?
Yeah, there's a Wall of Thorns. It does not prevent movement, but I believe it costs 4 feet of movement for every foot going through. Or am I mixing up the 5 move rules? Hang on. Wall of Thorns. 5 foot thick wall.
Hard to move through and hurts if you try, right? I think that's enough for now. Okay. And then we have the Menhir. Can you ping that?
It's right here, I believe. In that square.
Okay.
And that is basically. Hang on. Let me remind myself of the language of that.
I believe we have a status effect about that.
Yeah, it gives a +2 status bonus to saving throws against spells with the occult trait right now.
Excellent. And what is the aura is this the skeletal hands over here?
Yeah, that's skeletal hands.
Okay, so those are only trying to harm enemies, is that right? Or would they also
I
grab?
Positioned them to harm only this one. And I think they do not discern. Let's see.
Okay, so
that just hurt everyone.
Okay, that's good to know. And finally, I think this aura is Ottardo's martial stance. Is that right? Not martial stance, the dread martial aura.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, then Soma, it is your turn.
All right. So if we assume that our light is overpowering the darkness, so I don't need to recast it. So in this case, for her first action, Soma will sustain the skeletons, which should deal damage to this darkling. I believe. On succeeding turn, you sustain the spell each round. And deal 1d6 damage. Which I believe should be this one. And for her next 2 actions, she will cast heal on on Sandy. Yes.
Alright. So the skeletal hands try to reach out to the what is it, a flail wielding cult leader, but she manages to avoid most of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then you try to heal Sandy. Let's see the healing. Whoa, that is pretty nice. Effect on her. him. Okay, there we go. That's your turn.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. One of the remaining cultists here is locked into hand-to-hand combat with Sandy. Certainly not a great place to be in, but at least there is flanking. And we'll see if that helps. Using both of its weapons, he makes quick 2 strikes. 2 strikes against the same target. Stalker combines the damage that hit and applies precision damage and weaknesses only once. Alright. So let's see that. Can I... Is there... This. That's a hit. And second strike. Use the same bonus. Also a hit. That means we do damage. Okay, so there is sneak attack, but we'll... Don't think I managed to actually hit before, so now this is the first time this actually applies here. So let's see. We have sneak attack once. Okay, I think I got this. So this is 16, and then the second one we turn off the sneak attack because everything else should still apply. So, okay. So that's 16 here and 13 here. Some of that is mitigated. All right, and we need a fortitude save for Sandy once and twice, which Sandy has no problem with making it through. Okay, and then the third action.
Is sneak attack precision damage?
I would assume so. I mean,
Not that I'm trying to harm.
yes, it is. It is.
Andy?
Yeah, it is. Sneak attacker, 1d6 extra precision damage.
Oh,
And third action. I think it's just gonna. Oh, it has its back against the thorny wall. Doesn't then there's all those pillars around. Not a whole lot of good places to step into. I think it's just gonna continue holding the flank, and try one last desperate attempt with the full map. Oops, 24 is a miss. Oh, but Sandy is off guard, so that makes it a hit. So we'll roll damage one more time. Alright. Okay. The Caligny over here in the corner that is dodging the skeletal hands. She's done this before, that she like kind of like stared into space somewhere, kind of like tilting her head as if she's listening to somebody saying something, but you hear nothing. It's like almost like she's listening to an advisor that is invisible to you. And once again, she like turns away from you a little bit, and then nods and grins and says, yeah, says something in Caligny, which none of you speak, I believe. But she seems to be...
I think this spell should still work for the speak languages.
Oh, right. So you understand it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how she tried to bullshit her.
Yes. So she says something to the effect of, yes, that's a great idea. And we'll see what the great idea is. Sorry, this too many options. Okay. With the pillar here in the way, that makes it hard to move through there, but she'll move 2 and then 3 to move here. And then she'll start attacking. So first is Soma, and she swings the flail at you, striking you for 22 points of damage. Not sure why the sneak attack is on. Why is the sneak attack on? You are off guard. That's
I was flat-footed because it was dark.
right. So let's
Does it
turn
show
that off.
sneak attack? Because the number shows just bludgeoning.
Yeah, it did. So one of that is sneak attack. So you only take 21 points of damage. And now the second attack, in like a sweeping motion, she swings her flail around, which gives her a little bonus on the second attack to attack Ottardo. Ooh, didn't need that. And that is already double, so just measly 22 points of damage.
Okay.
I don't know if this makes any difference, but the square that she's in is difficult terrain, just so you know, because of the Menhir.
Okay, so then it costs 4 movement to get there, but she does have that. Okay, so far so good. That was her third action, so that makes it Ottardo's turn.
Wait,
Okay.
she didn't go through the wall to get there, did she?
No, she squeezed past the pillar, which
Oh,
I count as difficult terrain, and then...
Okay.
So basically, the pillars I would consider difficult terrain, and you can't end your move in there. It's like an occupied square.
Okay.
Ottardo is going to mark the Caligny for a smite, and then attempt to strike.
Okay, that's a hit, and 11 points of damage.
And he'll finish up by raising his shield.
All right. Okay, the other Caligny over here does not seem to be as distracted as the female cult leader, and instead I'm going to cast a spell. Alright, here we go. Targeting Sandy. Tries to blind him. But, of course, Sandy critically succeeds. Oh wow, that has the incapacitation trade. Well, that's kind of useless then. So that was 2 actions, and then with his third action, he tries an attack with a quick dagger. Shunk. But misses. Hang on. Okay. And that was its turn, and then it's Sandy's turn. Sandy, angry as always, I think it's going to respond to the last one that tried to attack him, which was the dagger in the back. So he's going to turn around and smash. Oh, that's weird. It's a weird looking item here, but the mechanics seem to be intact. So that's a hit. That's 29 points of damage. Followed up by another swing, which is a miss, and a final swing, which is also a miss. Alright, then it's Bark's turn.
Okay. I am going to cast. I think this works. Life draining roots. 30-foot line. Which I think I can put like this. Which, with all the R's, you can't see where I put it, but basically
I
here,
think I can see it.
here, and down. Casting from my corner.
Hey, first one makes it, second one fails.
All right, so that is 24 points of damage,
Ooh, so this one takes half.
and it is a basic reflex, so
Takes full, which means it dies.
and I also gain 1d4 temporary hit points for every living creature in the line. So
Nice.
4 hit points for me, temporary hit points.
All right, as the stalker dies, its body combusts in a flash of white hot flame,
Oh, I
and
forgot
everyone
that's
in a
just-
20-foot radius, which is everyone, needs to make this reflex save.
keep forgetting this happens.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I see a lot of crit saves here. Wow, okay. Amazing. So Ottardo saves, the ones crit saves, Spark saves, Soma's. Okay. So a lot of it's a basic save, so I think Ottardo at least will take
Half?
half of this, and Spark will also take half. Everyone else is fine.
We were expecting it.
And there goes the temporary hit points.
There you go. And that was Bark.
That's 2 actions. I guess the third will be to who's hurt? I can order Stick to do his potion administration thing with his long arms. And I guess, can he reach Sandy around the pillar if it's just difficult terrain?
Yeah.
Okay. He will reach out and administer a elixir of life.
Oh, for Stick, yes. I mean, Stick is small enough that I think it could even end its movement in the space with the pillar, so that's no problem.
Well, it gives
All
him
right.
back 27 points.
Very nice. Sandy, in his anger, hardly even notices how Stick trickles the liquid into its
Just
screaming
reaching
mouth.
out one hand, like fishing it around, trying to get it in his mouth.
Yeah, and he's just yelling and like coughing it down. Soma.
All right. Okay, let's keep Ottardo alive and also put the soundtrack back on. Okay, I still have focus pool, so I will make a lingering composition. To be honest, I don't remember if I have an instrument in hand, but let's assume I do. It would be Inspired Defense, which is the rousing anthem. It's 30, so it beats my class DC of 25. It's 3 rounds of Inspired Defense.
3 rounds, alright. Okay.
Okay, that was
Yeah,
just one
sure.
action. And with my second action, I will keep casting Soothe on Ottardo.
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh shit, I forgot the... can I... Wait a second, can I roll back the Inspire Defense? I think it would actually do nothing because we are protected by the roots.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. Let's do it the other one, Inspire. Okay, that's it, thank you.
Inspire courage. Okay. Got it. All right, that's your turn. And we have the cult leader here who's starting to get frustrated with the way things are going. It's her minions dying left and right, not seeming to make much progress. Souma, you can hear her yell something like, "Curse them! Do it! Curse all of them!" And then what do we do? Soma, to your surprise, she reaches out to touch you. Give me a fortitude save.
No.
Well,
Maybe
we have
it's
0
a bit
points.
maybe it's a bit too early to reroll it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's reroll it. I don't like it.
Okay. As soon as she touches you, you feel this hunger rise in you, and your green skin starts to look green in a very unhealthy way, slightly necrotic, and it's starting to fester from where she briefly touched you, and you are inflicted with ghoul fever.
Ooh.
I'm turning into Augrel.
And you currently take 3d8 more damage to the creature who gains half as many hit points from all healing. Okay, so you're gonna have to keep track on the healing part because I don't think there's any automation for that. And you take 9 points of void damage right away.
Well, Ottardo's going to react to that,
All right. Yep.
and so that grants Soma 11 resistance.
Would that does that cover the void damage?
Yeah, it's. Can you say again what the wording is of the ability? Is it just taking any kind of damage?
Yes, so trigger, an enemy damages your ally.
Yeah, I don't think it's an enemy damaging Soma. It's the disease that damages her. So I don't think it applies.
Yeah, because like
here.
the spell says that I am afflicted with ghoul fever, so all she did was touch me. So
Yeah, all she did
okay.
was. Yeah, the damage is from the disease. I think that's
Okay,
fair
okay.
read. Okay.
although she still deserves it.
So that was 2 actions for her, and then with a third action, cackling, she swipes at you with her flail, but misses you because she just enjoys watching you turn into a ghoul so much. Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo is going to attempt to strike the Caligny, miss twice. And finish up with his shield.
Okay. Dip. Then we have the Caligny Lieutenant over here. Well, he's gonna step to maintain his tactical advantage of flanking, I think, because he's running out of damaging spells. Yeah, nothing too good going on on that end, so he's just gonna target Sandy and try to stab him. Stab him once. Oh, here we go. Brutal. Drives the dagger in at a very painful spot. And not that there's a spot that is not painful when you're getting impaled. But that was very painful. And then it's Sandy's turn, and of course Sandy responds the way that Sandy responds, which is screaming at the Caligny and trying to crush it with his hammer. Ooh, but maybe some tendon got severed or something like it, because it looks like Sandy has lost his aim. Bark.
Rapidly running out of spells here. Who's hurt here? Who's hurt? I'm just gonna go with a timber. It's gonna be the same line that I did before, so it's just gonna hit this one. Just the one right here.
Okay, gotcha.
And
fails.
Wow, that's not great. Only 16 points of damage. And I'm also going to once again command Bark, or Stick, I mean, to grab a potion and administer it, because Sandy's looking a little rough. Inventory, so let me just pop off another elixir. Ooh, 33 points.
Very good. And that is... Okay, hang on. Let me understand this. Okay. Can you roll the Wall of Thorns damage for me, or is there a save involved when you try to move through it?
I believe they just take 3d12, 3d4 damage every time they spend a move action to move through an area of the wall.
All right. Okay, so we'll take that damage. And then, Ottardo, you see, like, in that Wall of Thorns next to you, you hear a rustle, and you see the thick vines, like, part a little bit, and it looks as if some medium-sized creature, maybe on the smaller side, is pushing through, but the creature itself is not visible. And then the next moment, something cold registers around the back of your neck. But you don't feel it make any contact, and you turn around to see where that's coming from, and you stare into a horrific visage of a floating torso that is just horrific to see. It's like a haunting sight of just looks almost like spider webs and rotten fabric keeping together a skeletal torso that seems animated for whatever reason, but clearly not a skeleton per se, because those usually don't float a few feet off the ground. So that's fun, and that was its turn, however. And then it's Soma. Nope. Ottardo, sorry, I took you out of the initiative. Where was your initiative? That was...
I don't remember.
Who you don't remember who came before you?
Um,
See if I can find you here in the chat. There. No, that's Ottardo taking damage. Ottardo reflex save.
oh, I
There
think
you are.
it's there after the boss, the one with the flail.
Yes, that's what it looks like. So you're actually in the right spot. Soma.
Yeah, okay. So I can see this guy, right?
Yes, why not?
Okay. Well, fuck this guy. With magic missile at 5th level. And well, I'm gonna spend all my free actions to cast well, 3 magic missiles with each action.
All right.
Okay, pop it out. So the base damage of each magic missile is 1d4 plus 1, and
Yep.
Dread Martial Stance adds to each or just to last ones?
It just says 2 damage rolls.
Yeah, you roll for each one separately, so I would say that it adds to each one.
Then he's extra fucked, yes, thank you. Okay, let's go then. 1, 2.
You can remember. I think you can just roll all of them at once.
I'm not sure. It's finicky somehow.
Okay, let me roll it then. So it's
Okay.
a total of 9.
Yes, well,
That-
7 now.
What is that? Force damage. So we have 1d4 plus 1, and we're just gonna add 8d4 to that. And then we're gonna add 8 force damage. And it says, what does it say? Dread Martial Stance is plus 2. Dread Martial Stance says if you wielding a weapon that has more than 1 damage die, you can have this.
Yeah. It's from
So
the striking.
So it is plus 2?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So that's another 16. And what is the type of that damage? Status bonus. So that's the same damage as the base, right?
I think so.
Okay. So let's add that as well. And there we go. 40 points of damage as the forest barrage comes raining down on the creature, injuring it greatly.
So
that was 3 actions well spent.
I
But
think
then
maybe I think maybe you're missing a little damage there, because each dart itself is 1d4 plus 1 plus the 2, so each dart is 1d4 plus 3.
yeah.
So the plus
hang on.
at the
So
end,
it should be, it's 94 plus 9 base, and then it is 18 on top. So yes, I missed 8. So let's add another 8. All right. So that was the force barrage, and then we have the cult leader. Okay, and she looks over to that horrific skeletal monstrosity in the corner and she says, "Finally, yes, yes, your time has come." And she feels clearly emboldened by the presence of that other creature, even though it doesn't seem to be very effective. And she starts flailing away. So, Soma, it gets
Aye.
hit by the flail for 12 points of damage.
Now Ottardo can react.
Yes.
That's correct.
So I think that would negate the rest of it.
Ugh.
And you miss. Okay, and then she follows up with another one. Oof. And a final. Yeah, final swipe. Of course. Ottardo, your turn.
Oh. Well, Ottardo kind of wants to. He is startled by the floating torso. It's also tiny,
Mhm.
right? Or small?
No, it's medium. It just doesn't look that big on the map.
Okay.
You could increase the token size.
But I think Ottardo will try to finish off the Caligny.
Yes.
Critical hit for this one. Let's take that. And
And I think that makes it frightened one.
yep.
And he will actually try to trip. Let me put the -5 in.
Try to trip the cult leader.
Yep.
Okay, well, makes more sense than the floating skeleton, I guess. Ooh. Yeah,
I didn't use the action. I should have used the action. Sorry, but it does
she-
have the -5.
she definitely be tripping hard. So that's a what is the DC? Is her athletics
Oh, sorry.
DC? Is that right?
It should be against reflex or fortitude. I always forget for trip.
Okay,
It's
you try to knock a creature to the ground, attempt an athletics check against the target's reflex DC. So the reflex DC is this, so that makes it a critical hit, which means she lands prone and
Sorry, I
takes one.
think I mistyped it. I mistyped the number there. It should be 34, the result.
That makes it a regular success. So she only lands prone.
And I think that was 2 actions. Third action. Yeah, Ottardo will raise his shield.
Okay. Now, I think you have an end turn button. Can we start using that? Because then I don't have to be asking if you have more actions left.
Where is it?
Probably on the encounter tracker,
On the
which you can pop out if you right click the.
I see like a fast forward if I click that. Yeah, I think so.
There you go. That was yep. I think that's gonna help me.
Okay.
Keep things straight here. All right. So then we have the Caligny at the bottom. His leader fall into the ground. He sneers. You can see, even though he has his face mostly wrapped in that scarf of his, but even so, in his voice, you can hear the disdain and the sneers. It says, "Ha! You call yourself a leader, Duluk?" And then he's gonna try to stab. Is he gonna try to stab? Doesn't really have any other options. Such a stupid thing to do. Stab the barbarian. Here we go. That is 22 points of damage because I guess technically the other one still helps with flanking. Second action is a miss. Third action is a hit for another 24 points of damage. He's just hacking away at Sandy, who's trying to split his attention between the two Caligni surrounding him. And then it's his turn. He decides to step over here to finally get out from this flanking situation and then bring down his hammer hard. Very hard. 46 points of damage. Splam! But the Caligni gets like the wind knocked out of him, but does not crumble yet. Oops, but we do have an action left, so let's see. Can we? No, we can't. And Bark.
Okay. I think I can cast like this. I'm gonna cast Timber again.
Mm-hmm.
On that diagonal and try and get them both.
What? From where you are right now?
Yeah, I can cast it from my corner.
Yeah, from your corner would be this here. Whoops, sorry. From your corner, that would be this diagonal. Did you see that? Probably not.
We see
Oh, it's
that.
not in the adjacent square, I guess.
That would be this diagonal.
Hang on, what am I dragging? That's not my... Okay. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, never mind. I won't do that. I will... Man, I really want to finish something off, but... Maybe I'll just start going to work on this new threat over here. I'm gonna cast Vitality Lash. As he sends out vines filled with the energy of creation's forge at the creature. And it needs to make a Fortitude save.
Fortitude save. Fails.
Alright, so it will take 27 points of vitality damage.
Let's see. It takes no damage.
What? Well, that's a problem.
What? How's that possible? It must be undead. Mustn't it?
Mysterious.
Bark scratches behind his ear a little bit and goes, and
Does his foot start kicking when he does that?
He uses his last action to... I'm gonna run out of potions at this rate. Sandy's just an endless void of potions. Just keep pumping them into Sandy. He's taking all the damage here. Yeah, I'll just be like, quick stick. Give him the elixir. 33 more points of healing.
Right, not him.
Okay, but I think we need to keep track of Stick's action, because technically it would take an action to move there and administer, and then there's no
It's like-
action to come back,
He
right?
has a special feat. He has 15 feet of reach.
Okay.
Second of all, he
Right.
has a special feat called item delivery that lets him use one action to administer the potion.
Okay.
Alex.
Gotcha. All right. Good. Got it covered. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn, yeah.
All right. Let's see if you can click that button too.
Oh,
There we go. Okay, and then it is that mysterious creature that looks so much like an undead, but turns out to not be one. And let's see what happens as it seems to draw what's left of the darkness in this room into itself. It's like almost as if it's like sucking up all the shadows in this room. And as they start to move towards it, they become an almost palpable substance that it starts to shape into some kind of blast. and it chooses a 30-foot cone to cast the Shadow Blast. The blast deals damage of the type it chose to each creature in the area. No save, apparently. How fun is that?
Wow.
Yeah,
So we'll just roll the damage, and then Ottardo, Soma, Bark, Stick, and even the Caligny, and also Sandy. Yep, I think everyone, 30-foot cone should capture everyone, takes this amount of damage. 22.
Wow.
Weird. No save, no nothing. That's how that is written. Boom. Boom. And that was 2 actions. And then with its 3rd action, it just kind of casually, as Ottardo is still reeling from the blast, it reaches out, trying to... Ooh. Uh-oh. It is technically a ranged effect here, as it sends some burning cold your way. So it's a ranged strike, and if that makes any difference for you.
Okay.
And then we have 18 points of cold damage, which are persistent. Right, I didn't need to roll that. I guess I just put it on you, and then we roll it whenever the end of your turn comes up. So that's bad.
So nothing now? It's
Nothing
just
right
persistent.
now. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I read that wrong. Nothing right now, I believe. No, sorry. It is 18 points right now, and then on top of that, we get the 2d8 persistent. Yes, and all of it is cold. Wow, bad. Soma.
Ay, ay, ay. So, I don't even know. It's everything is bad. I feel like if we pop either one of them, it will be pretty bad for us at the moment. So I think I will have to try to heal myself at least, even though it will it will halve my my healing at the moment. So I will have to pop the whole 5th level. This into myself.
You're
So-
soothing yourself.
Yeah, by half, so that's from 37, that is 18, right?
Half of that would be 18, correct.
Okay, and then I have 1 action left. I don't have one. Oh, right. I guess I will just cast shield. Okay, that would be it.
All right, hit that button. Okay, the prone Caligny has to get up, so that's what she does. And feeling emboldened, seeing like that blast of shadow hurt all of you, getting you finally injured, and Ottardo being badly injured, she lets out a cackling laugh and she says, "Yeah, you all shall die here." And that is quite intimidating, especially to Ottardo, who is faced by that, or faced with that horrifying creature right next to him. So she's gonna try to demoralize you. Intimidation against Ottardo.
Against will DC, that is a success.
Oh, wait, sorry. I used you. I was trying to
Oh.
target you using. There we go. I was wondering why it didn't show. Okay, so no, you're not going to die in here. You've survived worse things. So that was one action, and then she swings her flail, missing once, missing twice, and it's just more proof that Ottardo, you will make it out if you're alive. Your turn.
Ah. Well, we are all kind of injured. Well, the previous explosion didn't do too much damage, so I think Ottardo will try to finish off the Kaliki.
This is... Oh, but hits on the backhand swing and does not put her down, though.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
Alright, he'll finish off with his shield and turn.
All right. There's the persistent damage. And you fail to recover, the frost continuing to burn. Right, the Caligny down here. Do we have anything? Okay. Dagger's back. With one action. Come on. Fumbles for a wand with a second action. And then activates it. With one action. What? Come on, that must be just the automation that is not doing this. Are we serious? Allegedly, this guy doesn't have the ability to actually use the wand, but they put it in his inventory.
Oh. Is it of a spell that he can't cast?
It's supposed to be a magic missile spell, and he only has innate spells. So maybe that's where the automation is maybe breaking down, that it just doesn't recognize it, but I'm pretty sure that he's supposed to be able to cast it. So I'm just gonna cast it manually here. Magic missile, that is just with one action, that's just 1d4 plus 1. For Sandy, wow, okay, maybe we're getting desperate here. 2 points of damage. And then it's Sandy's turn, and Sandy just yells, "Oh no, you don't!" Because it looks like the Caligny is trying to get out of the room and run off. Sandy instead charges him and strikes him down hard. And immediately, nope, not Sandy taking that damage, but the Caligny. And immediately as the Caligny goes down, hang on. Why is that not triggering? It should be triggering.
Maybe they don't all explode, only the small ones?
That's what I just thought, but no, it's definitely listed in the stat block. 20-foot burst, so that means that come on, 20-foot burst, here you are. That means I can't even tell with all the auras.
I think it's only
Bark is
Bark.
okay. Yeah, Bark is
Bark
fine.
is
It's just Sandy and the other Caligny that are potentially affected by this. So let's see. Success for her. Failure for Sandy. And the damage is 33. So Sandy takes 33 points of damage as this Caligny erupts in a flash of white hot flame. Souma, you're okay. You don't need to save against that. You're far away enough. And the other one takes some damage of that too, which is enough to bring her down as well.
Oh no.
Meaning that she also... Oh, where are we? Here we... Oh, that's why. Okay, interesting. Good. 20-foot burst from her, so that now catches everyone. So I need everyone to make this reflex save. Including this guy. Ooh, interesting. And let's see, where are we? This is the damage as she explodes in a flash of just coldness, like outer space
Is there
vacuum.
any chance that it would counteract the previous explosion?
Because it follows that one, right? So it's yeah, it does feel good on your wounds though. So Ottardo takes full damage, Souma takes full damage, Bark takes half, the weird thing takes double, and Stick takes half. But the weird thing is immune against cold. Oh, and Sandy, I forgot to roll for Sandy. Come on, Sandy. Success. Man, Sandy's still standing. Wow. Okay, so that was Sandy's turn, and then it's Bark.
Bark doesn't feel so good, and neither does Stick. Yeah, oh man, I don't know. When does this thing go? It goes immediately after me? Oh my god. Is this a are we beating a retreat out of here? Because I don't know. Bark doesn't have much left in any category.
Well, I think we only have one creature left. I think maybe we can make it.
You say that with such confidence. Okay, Bark will distribute his last elixir of life. I guess to Ottardo, since he's right up against this thing. So that's one action from Stick. You can grab it, move it over, and dunk it down your throat. 30 points of healing. I
Nice.
just accidentally did that to the monster. I've got 2 actions left, but like I can't stand here and take another of those blasts.
Well, I think they kind of ran out already, thankfully. Although the darkness ones, yeah.
No, it's got that shadow blast that you just don't save against, which seems
that thing.
stupid.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I'm trying to think of something useful I can do with one action because I need to use my last one to move.
Battle medicine, if you have that or something.
I don't have battle medicine. Wait, do I have another? I might have another elixir stowed away. That's like a permanent one. No, I don't. I can become one with plants. I don't think I can help much more. Stick is for the time being. Or Bark. Well, shit, he can't even move. Stick technically has to stay behind because he used his 2 actions to do that. God, well, that's a shame. Bark can't leave Stick. All right, I can't Timber. I can't Vitality Lash. I can't. Shit. think my best chance for helping is to not get wiped out in the next turn. So I'm going to use my movement. This door's shut. Oh my god, this door's shut! I can't even get out of this stupid room.
You could maybe step behind the pillar and take cover.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would protect me.
Ah, but,
I mean,
Well,
I could
that's
go
the
all the way
thing.
behind the cauldron here. Like that.
I mean, the safest thing would probably be to like push through the wall of thorns and get out of the cone. You know.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that's wise.
well, if you were in that square and you had two actions, you could spend one to open the door, then move.
From the diagonal? Is that, I guess
Well,
I
it's adjacent, I think. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, could I open the door from here?
Yes.
Then that's going to be my second and my third action. Is just getting out of the area of that cone. Because if that comes again, then I am dead. And I'm not helping anyone, so... That's it.
All right.
Which... Wow.
Then
How come every time I
it-
hit that it says I'm delaying? I don't know why it's doing that, but... Because I didn't technically click, I was using the move action. Anyway, okay.
Don't know. Oh, but then that makes it weird. Okay. Anyway, so it's the creature's turn, and it starts to stare at Ottardo. It's opening its mouth. And you can see like all the rot and decay that is going on inside this creature. It's just filled with pitch black, shadowy darkness. And some of that starts spilling out as it just silently opens its and closes its mouth a few times. You hear words in your head without them having to cross through space to get there. You don't understand them, but they shake you deeply. You need to roll this fortitude save. Oops, I saved against my own. Great. You need to roll this fortitude save.
If it's an occult spell, he does get a +2. I don't know if it is.
Nice. That is a critical success. Which means that, yes, it is... Hang on. Regardless of the result of its save, creature is temporarily immune for 1 minute. All right. So, it leaves you shaken, but you don't notice any other things change about you. However, the creature then follows up with another blast of cold coming your way. Critically missing. Oh, we also need to do this anyway. And I should have used the crit map, so I'm going to use it now. That is potentially a crit. Yes, it is. And it blasts you for 24 points of cold damage. And no additional persistent because that's not going to go any higher. Alright, that was its turn. Souma.
Alright, let's try to do something that sometimes helps a lot. Someone will try to cast slow on that thing.
Nice.
Okay. That's a good start. Let's save. Crit success.
Okay. I don't have much of really anything left by this point, so yeah, I think someone probably will also shift her behind the column, and that would be it.
Okay. Ottardo.
Okay, Ottardo is going to start by making a defensive, not advance. So he's going to
Can't
raise
even
his
call it
shield.
retreat.
Yeah, he's going to raise his shield, stride, and since the thing is within his reach, he'll attempt to strike it.
Okay. At least it seems to be not too hard to hit. 20 points of damage, which thankfully go through.
And well, he's going to try to strike again and miss.
This is
And,
by
and
a hair's breadth. Sandy over here in the corner, it's like leaning onto its hammer. It's just, I would imagine, like covered in burns and like frostburn and blood and all sorts of bruises. And he's just catching his breath a little bit, looking over into the corner, sees that weird monstrosity there, and just and comes charging in. I don't think he actually had. Yeah, he does have sudden charge, so comes in and then strike. Oh, that doesn't actually make a difference, right? I always forget that sudden charge is not actually charging, really. That's the strike. 30 points of angry damage, followed up by one final strike. Yep, another 28 points of angry damage, and the creature all of a sudden looks brutally mangled and hardly even keeping itself afloat. Bark.
Well, okay. Didn't do the blasty thing, so Bark will step back in, assess the situation. Where's Soma?
I'm
also
hiding
for Ottardo.
behind the corpses.
Oh, okay. I just can't see. Everyone's near death. God. Oh man, I have a. Is Ottardo still affected by that persistent damage?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, he just took it.
I have this thing. That's not gonna help. This isn't gonna help. um, I don't know if this is gonna help, but I am going to feel like I'm gonna cast helpful wood spirits and summon some little scampering, skittering wood creatures to do their best to help. They're going to start like trying to leap up and grab at the draggy, like hanging entrails or whatever is coming out of this thing, and just generally harass it. It's in a 5-foot burst, so it's gonna affect just
Okay.
this creature.
Yeah, so there are no entrails or anything like that. It's almost like shadowy substance matter that has tangible form that they start to pull on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop it right back here so that it's only affecting him. And why can't I cast the spell? There we go. They're gonna use the distract feature, so he makes a basic reflex save, or he makes a reflex save, or else he's off guard.
Do I get a prompt for the save?
There was not one there for some reason, so.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll. 27.
I believe that is my DC exactly, yeah. So, they do nothing.
Yeah, indeed. They just start pulling and dragging on that shadow stuff, almost getting themselves wrapped up in it. To no effect.
Okay. Then that's all I got.
Okay.
And I'll use the stride action so that hopefully now when I end my turn it doesn't think that I'm delaying.
I don't know. It
Still
doesn't look
thinks I'm
like the right.
delaying.
It doesn't look like
I'm
you're
not-
using the right button.
I guess not.
I don't know what you guys are seeing, so I can't tell you which one it is. But I don't know. Sam, can you point it out?
So when I hover over the Ottardo's card in the encounter thingy, there's like a fast forward. It's not exactly a button. It's like an overlay on the card.
Shit, now I just moved myself accidentally.
That's okay. I'm just
Okay.
gonna move back. So I think, no, let's try. If you click on that fast forward thing
So this is on the encounter tracker?
on the carousel, I think is what.
Oh
you're
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
right?
Sorry, yeah. The thing in the center top of the screen.
Oh,
Here we are.
okay.
That
All right.
worked.
I thought it was on the encounter. Okay, now I got it. All right.
All right. Okay, so the thing backed up into the corner near death, but really with no good path of escape. All of its escape methods have minutes of casting time, so that's not good. Then all it can do is kill. And it's gonna start with Sandy. Targeting Sandy, trying to blast him with ice cold energy, but first one misses, second one misses. What? Third one crit misses. Oh my goodness, Sandy is such a beast. Soma.
Well, as it so happens, I still have one slot of third rank left. Yeah, Simon, if you will, can you please do the damage?
I mean, it's you just click on it and then you add those additional dice. You don't get that pop-up dialogue where it says,
I mean, I get
the label.
the label one. Where I guess I could try to do that.
Yeah, so you just so you should see base damage 1d4 plus 1, and then in the next row it says label. You can leave that empty, and then you put an 8 in the next box, d4, and then acid you change to force, and then you click add,
Well,
and then at the bottom
yeah, it's second level, so third one, so it would be 5, 6.
Okay, right. Yeah, so then you would add that. And then at the bottom, you could add the static modifier by adding it as an untyped and changing it to force damage. And also, don't forget to click add, the add buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to deal with a Dread Martial stance, it's probably better to factor that in as a static bonus instead of flipping that, toggling that switch, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, so it would be Dread Martial Stance plus... so it is plus 10, right? So if it is... no, yeah, 5 extra.
Well, how many missiles do you have? You have 5 extra, so it's 6 missiles in total, so you want to add plus 12 from Dread Martial Stance.
Or 10 with the 2 that's already included automatically.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, well, that didn't consider the actual +1 that you get for each missile, but it doesn't really matter this time. Yes, it's definitely enough.
There we go.
As the force barrage comes down on the creature, it just slams into it, crushing its bony torso. And as the force dissipates, so does the shadowy stuff animating this creature. And finally, the music stops abruptly. And the chamber falls quiet. No more explosions. No more flash of cold or fire or shadow. Almost eerily quiet. Just a crackle from the fire in the east, cooking those strange eggs. All right, hang on here. Did I give you XP last time after we cleared out the room the first time? Because the reinforcements arrived, I think, a little bit later. Did I give you XP for them? Do we remember that?
I don't think I was here for that.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I could consult the recording.
Yeah, would you mind just scrubbing through that real quick and see if we did it in 2 stages?
Because we need it quickly. It now loads very slowly, of course.
Either way, there's definitely 115 XP. The question is if you're going to get another batch.
Ooh. That might be... If there's
Oh.
another batch, yeah, that might
Yes.
be...
Yep, that's why I want to know right now, because that might push you over the edge.
Okay, I think... Let me full screen it harder. When we fought the first batch, we had 804. So and now we have 864. So apparently you
so
did give us experience for those.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I did end the encounter, so I think then I generally give you XP when I end the encounter. Okay, so it's 115 XP right now. You should be right on the cusp of the next level then.
Yep.
All right, yeah, so
150? Wow.
115, 115.
115.
Yeah, 979 now.
Get those auras out of here. Here we go.
Wow, things aren't blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick, are you okay?
Oh, badly cracked. The bark is peeling in various places. But
It's okay, buddy. I got some sunlight for you.
Plenty of sap left in this stick. Sandy just kind of collapses as the rage subsides. So does his remaining energy.
Yes, I think Soma also is about to collapse, because especially, and she literally looks like death right now.
I don't know if we want to play it round by round, because I think Ottardo is still freezing.
Oh, and that might actually get you down. Okay, yeah. So let's see. Okay, so we'll still see Ottardo being affected by that persistent cold damage. Why don't you take 1 instance now? Oh, nope. I shouldn't have rolled assisted recovery. But you take just 1 more instance then. Here we go. 2d8. So 3 points, and then you recover.
Ottardo is going to dig into his back and pull out 2 lesser healing potions. Whoever need these.
Sandy is already downing the one from his own inventory.
Okay, then Ottardo will hand one to Bark.
Bark looks
And-
at you like perplexed. It's like, what now? I always bring my own.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I think someone also will try to chunk one.
Just gorgeous down.
All right. So, Soma's wounds don't heal as well, so maybe her moral wounds will suit better if we can loot our assailants.
While you're looting, Bark will sit down and he'll begin meditating or refocusing so that he can summon more food.
Yeah.
Okay. Of the creatures, all those dark folk, those Calignes that have just disintegrated or in their death flames, none of their belongings remain except for a short sword. And let's see if the bosses had something interesting that wouldn't disappear. Yes, indeed, that flail that the I shouldn't have deleted it, so you can, I think you can loot it once it's dead. Let me see.
Yep, I can see it.
Can you loot it? Yep. And the other one, where's the other one? Yeah, also has some inventory you might be interested in that stays behind in a neat little pile that's covered in strange black, almost ooze-like stuff.
Mm-hmm. Aha. Now this we like. And another key for some. All right. Yeah. I think yeah. I think even though we just came down here, maybe it would be prudent for us to go back up.
I just want to make sure, Simon, that other token, this one that you put down, is that the one it's supposed to be? Because it's different art from what we were fighting.
Really, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know why. Because they had switched the art. It's
Okay.
This is correct. Everything's fine.
Okay. All right.
That's some version of the module. They must have gotten the art confused. So it's a little weird. That's why they both look the same. Okay, so you grabbed off their bodies. What was interesting to you? Or well, not of their bodies, of the spots where they disintegrated. Whatever was interesting to you, the floating mass of shadow stuff and bone did not leave anything behind. The room is still thick with the haze that's not unpleasant, coming from some pungent mushrooms that are burning or cooking in the cauldron to the east, on top of which there are these brown and purple eggs, each about the size of a human head, that are slowly cooking in the smoke. as I've mentioned maybe a long time ago, the walls in here are painted with sweeping lines and whirls, further like underlining the eerie strangeness of the whole space. Kind of reminds you of the cave to the north where you found their quote unquote prophet. Couple of doors leading out of here, some of them leading down where the lieutenant and or the bosses rushed into the room. They're still standing open, and the doors to the north that you already explored, and one door to the west here leading into another chamber. Hang on here. Just want to make sure I'm getting everyone's exploration activities right. Okay. So why don't you, Bark, why don't you give me a perception roll right now, because you're going to be searching.
Yeah.
Actually, I can do that. Hang on. There we go. Okay, and... All right, as you take in the room, maybe finally for the first time, really with the time that you need to really follow those swirling lines, those patterns that remind you maybe somewhat of some druidic patterns of showing the ebb and flow of water, the rushing of winds, and it's like a almost weird connection to make, given that you're so far underground here. But you notice that kind of hidden amongst the lines to the west here, there's this abstract pattern painted on the wall, and you spot just the smallest little crack in one of those lines. And if you move closer, you notice, yes, indeed, there's an entire secret door hiding in that abstract pattern. And it looks as if it hasn't been open in a long, long time. And maybe the denizens of this room didn't even know about it.
Well, those guys were a bunch of silly heads. I mean, they've been in this room for who knows how long, and they didn't even see this?
Or maybe they just didn't want to open it.
Well, maybe let's rest up a bit more before we go further exploring.
I cannot agree more.
Sandy's snoring in the corner.
Yeah, I think I will treat his wounds for now. While he's sleeping, I will try to take DC 20. Maybe he won't feel if I screw up.
Okay.
Ooh, failure.
By the way, I have an interesting question here. I have ghoulish fever, which, as I described, I mean, it decreasing my connection to vitality energy. So, which is why I take half of healing from everything. But I also have Stitch Flesh, which allows me to heal undead who are.
Yeah. But you're not technically undead. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, but like, I wonder, like, would this proficiency kind of count for just treating my own wounds? Like, well, never mind. Probably not.
Well, while Souma is trying to patch up Sandy, Ottardo is going to take the same 10 minutes to refocus, and then at the end he'll do some healing of himself.
Okay, I will. If we can take more than just 10 minutes, I will just treat Sandy normally.
Okay. Hang on a second.
don't like that.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're taking 10 minutes.
Do we
Trying to
get the
rest up.
second? Do we get the full second 10 minutes?
Well, let's start with the first 10 minutes here. To rest up and recover a little bit. And then Bark, you hear a muffled voice calling out from echoing kind of up into this room from this corridor here. You only notice because other than that, it has become very quiet in this part of the complex. Like usually, in the vaults, there's always like some movement, something stirring in the darkness. But it feels like you've cleared out this part quite a bit. If it wasn't for that single voice calling out. You don't understand the words, it's too muffled for that. But something is calling from down south.
Is it like a plaintive sound, or does it sound like evil incantations? Like what's the tone of it?
It's not an incantation per se. It's more of like a muffled call for attention or something like that. And it's also then like a few minutes later, maybe you'll hear like a boom, boom, as if somebody is slamming against a wall or a door from the inside, and then more of this call.
So Sandy's ears perk up. Oh my god, why am I having such a hard time with my own character's name today? Bark's ears perk up. And he turns to the other and says, I think there's someone who could use some help down there. Sounds like someone's calling out for help.
In that case, Souma will probably push Sandy back to his feet and administer him one of her potions, so he would at least be in a fighting condition.
Yeah, what? Yep, sure. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
give him that one.
Bark will also, if I haven't had the chance to refocus yet, then I will I'll throw out a first level heal on everyone in the room before we go any further.
But you did have those first 10 minutes, so if that...
Right, I got, yeah. Oh, I did have 10 minutes to refocus.
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't mean
then
to interrupt those. It's just that's.
Alright, then in that case, I will cast Cornucopia again. I mean, I don't have enough resources. There we go. And I have 5 of them, so I will probably... Okay, everyone's okay-ish now. Let me roll some for Sandy. 9 and 8 and 8, and then I'll take the last 2 for stick. It's weird for stick to eat fruit, but
I was going to ask that's
The world of plants knows no mercy. Everything will be turned to mulch.
not wrong. 13, 16 is 29. Okay. All right. Let's go help someone then, maybe.
All right. By the way, the roots are still going.
The roots?
Yeah,
the protective spell.
No.
Oh, they only lasted for like 10 minutes. They're definitely gone now.
How long is the soothe effect going? That's only 5
yeah,
rounds.
it should be gone.
Yeah, so that will be gone. All right, so you move on down that pretty narrow corridor till the very end where there are two doors. One stands open and one is shut. If you peek into the room, stage right, in the east, it's full of a jumble of pillows and furs and blankets and rugs. There are several empty jugs that litter the floor, and it looks like somebody or maybe multiple people just kind of recently got up and left here in a hurry, most likely. And then on the other side, there's a door that looks somewhat reinforced. Not recently, has probably always been a sturdy door. And as you like look at it, maybe inspecting it, is something wrong with this? All of a sudden, there's like again, right in front of you, startles you, like stumble back a little bit, and you hear that voice again. Or this time all of you hear it because it's coming right from behind that door. And Ottardo, you are the only one who understands the words because they are in Aklo. And it's something to the effect of, "You can't keep me trapped in here forever. It will be your downfall. I will slaughter you. I will drink your blood. All of yours. I shall slay you for the great glory. And I will drag your entrails all the way down to the place I came from."
Ottardo is going to turn around and say that this person talks about slaying and blood. Maybe they can wait.
It sounds like really angry, almost mad with anger. And then there's a pause in the ranting. And then a little while later again, boom, 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 boom. "Hello? Why is it so quiet out there all of a sudden? Have my brethren arrived and are wading through your blood?"
Well, I mean, if you say so, Ottardo. Sounds friendly enough to me, but I also don't understand what he's saying.
He sounded murderous.
Like of us? Or the people who kept him imprisoned here? Because there's a big difference.
Yes, the people who kept him imprisoned, but like he wasn't begging or anything. He was like threatening to spread entrails and rivers of blood. You know, that sort of.
Well, I mean, maybe we could clarify that they didn't have guts and we have checked it.
I mean, let's be fair, that kind of sounds like something Sandy would say, too.
Yeah.
So do you think we should?
Because I think, you see, if we actually respond to him in his language, he will clearly understand that it's not his captors speaking to him.
I mean, it's up to you, Ottardo. You're the only one who can talk to him, so I'll just be back here focusing on more fruit.
You know what? Let's take 30 minutes and then we can talk with him. He can wait an extra 30
Not
minutes.
gonna go anywhere.
He's in no immediate danger.
So what do you do?
It kind of sounds like we're just gonna go back and sit and rest some more.
No problem.
Alright.
I mean, Souma can always can use 10 minutes to retry her treating wounds. on on reindeer.
Just
They
in
will-
case it is a raving lunatic who's going to try to murder us all. You know, to be prepared.
All right. So you move back into the hazy chamber with that mushroomy smell in the air. Like I said, it's not unpleasant. And when you've spent the first 10 minutes here, it's not like you've noticed any weird effects on you. It just puts you into this sort of mildly meditative mindset. And you spend another 10 minutes here? Is that what you want to do?
Yep.
Okay. So every now and then, every few minutes or so, you hear like a slamming against the door to the south again, and that very muffled voice. But yes, you can take your break. So does Sandy get any more healing?
Well, I rolled before we were interrupted, so there was 9 points of healing.
Where was that?
It was right before all that stack of suspicious rolls as you made.
Ah. There you go.
Let's see. Okay, they're looking a little better now. Bark will be like, "Here, so I'm gonna have some fruit."
Oh, thank you. You can't believe, but I'm starving. And that's
Oh, that's weird. Somehow very effective. It is vitality, so I don't know if that, how that interacts with your ghoul fever, but
well. I mean, it
Do-
says
do we
it
know
says
what
all
it's
healing,
called?
so
You wouldn't, as players, you know, but as the characters wouldn't know that it's ghoul fever. You would just see that there's like this festering necrotic wound.
and
Or maybe
Soma,
not
like,
even wound, more like a lesion that is starting to spread.
there's another 10 for you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I've got
Soma,
one
like,
more. Seems like
just
you could really use it, so I take another 9.
yeah, that's probably about it.
Are you okay? You look a little greener than usual.
It's fine. The greener the work, the healthier he is.
Can I do a medicine check on the spoon?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot. I'm not trained in medicine, so never mind. For some reason I thought I was good at that. Well, I'm just good at making things from plants. I'm not good at I don't have any actual medical knowledge.
Yeah, but I guess when you look at it, the thought that comes into your head is like, if Soma was a plant, you would think that she's wilting.
Whoa. That's a nasty one. You look like you picked up some sort of some infection, fungal infection. There's necrosis of some sort. If you were a plant, I would know exactly how to treat that. But you may be green, but you're not a plant. So
Yeah. I think I will be as long as we can get out of here. I'm sure it will be fine. I guess. I'm
right.
just so hungry.
Okay. Well, you just ate all that fruit.
But I mean, they're not like not juicy enough, you know. It's the first that gets to you, you know.
Not juicy enough. Puts his hands on his hips.
Well, whenever you're ready, we can go.
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna be standing in the back here anyway, so.
Yeah, let's go see it.
So what do you do?
Ottardo's going to knock and say in Aklo, hello?
Ah, who's there? Now let me out here and I will rip out your throats.
Ottardo will turn around and say he's threatening to rip out our throats. Who are you, sir? Sorry?
I'm the mighty Hooglu. Who are you?
Have we heard of the name Hooglu?
No,
I
never.
can't believe I did.
We're just adventurers passing through.
It is passing through. You will pass through my blade.
Okay, he's threatening us again.
Listen, we probably should speak to him in his language, and I don't mean Aklo, but like, okay, sort of like, pretend for a moment that you are me, and repeat like something to this effect, like, I don't know who you are, some are there, but we have spilled that thick, icky blood of those darklings on our way here, and if you don't respect that, we will spill your blood as well. Well, you can
that's
paraphrase it.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
I mean, it's because thing is, people like this require conversation in a similar style, because to him it will not sound like a threat, but like a small talk, you know?
Yeah, pretend you're Sandy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. Sandy says, okay, so here's what I would say. And then kind of like just whispers you what to say in a very calm way. And it's like, I will snap your spine, crack open your bones, suck out the marrow, and spit it down your throat. Tell him.
So Ottardo like tries to repeat to himself, spine first, then bones, then what was third?
Yes, sir.
Spit it down your throat, you know? Because that's really it. Like that, add insult to an injury. That's how you do it.
Yeah, Sir Tarzan never had to actually verbally intimidate anyone, so he doesn't know how to do it.
Let's see how that works out. Is it
And I'll
normal
let
that it says Sandy there?
Yeah, because I had Sandy selected. I'll let Sandy help aid with that because he's basically giving you the words, which you
Oh,
guess.
wait. Ah,
Hmm?
I can do the inspire competence.
Okay. Which means that we use your perform roll instead.
Yes, 1 second. I will click it.
Haven't taken sufficient to aid your ally on a skill check of your choice, regardless when you. Okay, so but you can't aid the aid, so Sandy is not helping, but you can still aid Ottardo. Yep.
I think
So
so.
you can
Yeah.
roll performance instead of the normal skill check. Okay. All right, that's very good. And that is a critical success. Does that change anything with aiding? Probably not.
Makes it +2, I think.
It does? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's a critical aid. Now let's see Ottardo.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. It's a 25, which makes it a regular success. So yeah, so do you actually use those words that Sandy gave you?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a little quiet behind the door, and then hear like some grumbling, and then, you wouldn't talk to me like that if Corfell the Great would be here. He should be here any minute now. Probably just gotten holed up on the stairs or something.
Have you heard of this Corfell?
It's Corfell.
Chlorophyll?
Yeah.
What?
It doesn't make a difference in this case.
Yeah. Ottardo's going to. Can we be civil if we open this door?
Yes, yes, absolutely civil. Yeah, yes. Come on, open it. Do it. Open it.
You hear how agitated he is. Do you still want us to open this?
I think he's
Then he
only
cracks his
agitated because you
knuckles.
haven't opened it yet.
Yeah, Sandy cracks his knuckles. Says, "Yeah, sure. Let's see who
All
we're
right.
dealing."
Soma, I think you might have to operate on the lock.
Okay, let me see what I can do. Where is it? I picked it. Yeah, there it is. So she tries to open it with the key.
Good move. And indeed, the key fits, unlocks the door easily. And as soon as the lock clicks open, the door is ripped out of your hand as it's just yanked open by the creature inside, which looks something like this. It's not wielding its weapon. It looks like it's been in here for a while. Not, like I said, not wielding any weapons. Doesn't seem to have any of its equipment, but it's also just a monstrosity to behold. The skin is translucent. You see the entrails inside, the bones shining through, and its long tongue lolling out of its mouth that is filled with wicked-looking sharp teeth. And yeah, it yanks the door open out of your hand, and we're gonna roll initiative because it does seem to be angry. Who would have thought? How about we'll use? Well, nah, it's been a while. I'm not going to use the intimidate as the initiative. I think that would not really fit the situation anymore. We're just gonna go with regular initiative. So I'll roll them for everyone, and we'll start with Sandy, who's in the back there, sees that the door gets ripped open, and I guess he reads the room here, and he's like, "Oh, slow down, buddy," and he's gonna try to guess. No, he'll say, "Make room, Soma. I'll teach him manners." And then it's Bark's turn as he delays. Anthony?
Well, I can't really see what's going on here.
Yeah. You only see that the door was yanked out of Soma's hand.
Yeah, I'm just gonna delay as well.
All right. You can hit that delay button. And Soma, that creature in front of you just jumps out and tries to bite you very rudely. But you manage to step away just at the right moment. But it doesn't let off. It just keeps on attacking. With its second attack, and I'm gonna say that's, and then it's gonna step into the room and say, come on, take me, I'll rip you to shreds." Soma, your turn. God damn it.
well,
Stupid button taking you out of the initiative instead of targeting. It's so annoying.
alright. Yeah.
It's your turn.
You know what? I think I kind of want to try to reciprocate, as they would say. And I have one thing that so Soma will like start complaining about, like, so thirsty, and produce one of the bottles from her pouch, and I got rid of it somehow because I clicked use. 1 second, and she will drink it.
And then what happens?
Well, as she drink it, so those close to her, which at this moment Sandy and Sir Ottardo will see how her normally small and adorable tusks start like growing much more pronounced and bestial, and her formerly well manicured nails start growing into talons, and as soon as the transformation is complete, she will launch herself at this creature and try to bite it in turn.
Nice.
Wait 1 second, there is supposed to be an effect there. I will apply it. There it is. It's a bestial mutagen, so she jumps, and okay, it gives me jaws unarmed attack.
So isn't getting the mutagen out one action, consuming it a second, and then stepping a third?
Shit, you're right. Never mind.
That's okay. Okay, so it gets shield. All right, Sandy, from where he is, I think he could see that the thing made a little room, so he's like, "I'll teach you to talk to Soma like that, even if I don't understand a word you're saying." And well, I forgot to get him angry, but he sure is. Rah. Walks right into the room, cornering the creature, and then trying to strike it. Oh, critical hit. And 50 points of damage. Real quick. Bam. Slams the creature hard against the wall. It just sent, like, flies against the wall, smashed into it. You see lots of bones broken in that translucent skin. And then Sandy follows up with one more swing, regular damage. 35 points of damage is enough to kill the creature, and as he just smashes it against the wall, and it's just breaks every bone in its neck, and it kind of like slumps to the ground. And that
Soma will. I'm sorry. Soma will shove Sandy in the shoulder, like yelling, "I was going to eat that!"
And as the creature falls down, its weird, translucent, bluish flesh very quickly rots away, like almost instantaneously, and it just sublimates into a cloud of foul-smelling gas that is within 5 feet of the body, so intense that Sandy needs to make a fortitude save here, which he fails, and he takes 14 points of void damage, which apparently only go down to 8 because he's resistant to void. Because of course he is. And then Augrel the powerful is no more. That's 10 XP for everyone. But Augrel clearly wanted the fight.
Yeah. Soma screeches in powerless rage.
The room itself looks like a simple prison cell. There's nothing really here that seems to be of interest to you. Just the clear remains of the fact that this creature must have been held here for quite some time. And you see, like, chains being snapped, bloody smears on the walls, but no writing. Clearly, it must have let his anger out on the room itself and the walls and all that stuff. Oh, you did learn a little bit from it. It did drop some names,
Yeah.
which is enough to give you 30 XP,
Oh, sweet.
which pushes you over
Whoa.
the edge. So you're now at 19, or I guess 1019
Wow.
by my count.
Yep.
So, bing, you go up a level.
See, totally worth it to try and converse with him.
Yes. Always and under all circumstances. Yeah, I'm not gonna level up Andy.
Well, it will probably be better to level up later.
Okay, yeah, we can delay that for now. Just explore a little more. Yeah, the room itself, like I said, clearly a prison cell does not seem to hold much of interest to you.
What about
This
next?
one over here, yeah, that's the one that's filled with pillows and furs and blankets and rugs all lying around in a jumble. There are a couple of empty jars and jugs littering the floor. What smells like mushroom wine inside. It's like an earthy, slightly intoxicating smell to it. And if you look through it, Bark, I still have you as a search as your exploration activity.
Mhm.
Doesn't really require a perception check here, but you spot a small pouch in just kind of lying amongst the stuff. And for some reason it's not on the map, but it is 25 gold pieces, 10 silver pieces, and what's called a greater cheetah X elixir that I'm going to put into your party stash.
Greater cheetah elixir.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if this is something I could decoct from plants.
So this is an enzymatic compounds in this elixir strengthen and excite the muscles in your legs. You gain a 10-foot status bonus to your speed for 1 hour. Pretty cool. And did somebody grab the coins that I mentioned?
I did not.
Okay, I'm just gonna add them to your party sheet then. 25, 10, 25 gold, 10 silver. So I'm adding them to the party stash. Yeah, but other than that, nothing immediately seems to stand out in this room.
Should we check the other halls? Are we that daring?
Well, this easy victory definitely helped me to regain my spirits. So, well, maybe it will be fine.
Ottardo takes the lead here. Choice is to go down the corridor with where the door stands open, or try one of the doors that are still closed, including that secret door that you discovered. Looks like we're taking on this one first. Nope. Looks like we're moving to the secret door.
Let's see.
All right. You pop it open and you look down a long corridor, hallway, just undecorated stone on the sides, 5 feet wide, and going as far as your magical light illuminates.
I guess this would take us to a different part of the level, maybe a different level. Let's see if
Can you-
any other ones lead to a room. You were saying, Bark?
Yeah. Let's open that door.
Right, ignoring the corridor for now, you open the next door and you find a storage room of some kind. It's just a square chamber filled with a jumble of open boxes, casks, bundles of torches, and faintly glowing plants. It's a bit of a mess here. It looks like these folk have haphazardly thrown supplies in here with no particular system to it.
Let me have a look at these plants.
Yeah, plants are indeed interesting to you because they are bioluminescent reeds and they retain their glow for weeks after being harvested, so that's why they still provide some dim light in here. You also search the rest of the room, I would assume, and you find that most casks contain meaty, dried mushrooms. But if you smell them or, God forbid, even try to taste them, they have a very gritty taste and makes them almost inedible. But amongst all of the stuff, you also find 3 beautiful amethysts that I'm going to put on your party sheet because they once again don't have a treasure sheet.
Anyone like purple rocks?
Pretty purple rocks.
Yep.
Mark is gonna take some of those glowing plants and he's gonna like crush them up in his hands and smear them on his coat. And then when he comes out, he's gonna go, whoa.
Ah, Sandy, startled. Oh my God! Grabs his hammer.
No, wait, Sandy. It's just a joke.
Oh,
Ghost-
okay.
Ghost Bark.
Grabs his hammer. That's all right, but next time, tell us first. Holy, that was
Well,
scary.
it's not much of a joke if I tell you I'm gonna do it.
Uh, huh. It's gonna keep him busy for a while. All right, you make your way into this southern hallway where a door stands open, opening up into like a makeshift barracks of sort. It's a drab chamber containing a few bedrolls and a box with several earthen mugs atop of it. There's a desk that holds stacks of paper, though.
Any recognizable language?
Well, let me. Hang on. Oops, oh, did something wrong here. There we are. Here's the map that you find. The keys might not be. I don't know, Soma, do you still understand every language right now?
I think it's been
Or-
after an hour. I think so. The spell probably ran out.
Okay. Then I guess the labels aren't immediately clear to you, but this is what you find. Do you see the map?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. This is what they have mapped out.
Okay, so the corridor goes to stairs down.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying we can't read the labels?
Well, I guess maybe.
If you click it, it does zoom.
No, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but the language is.
Right. Sorry.
It's in the Caligny language, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to understand the words.
But we do see big lobsters in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, this is clearly where we are right now, right? This part. And what's this part over here?
Which one?
The part to the right.
Oh,
Yeah, I can make this conversation a little easier. Give me a second.
It looks like below.
Maybe I can't make it easier. Yeah.
there is no token in the scene, which will give us visibility.
That's correct. Then I will just turn off visibility. How about that?
There it
Okay.
is.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess we can't make much of what's
I mean, we can
happening in
probably
the other side.
yeah, we can probably recognize the stairs
Yeah, and
the
the,
water.
and the caverns here.
and caverns. Yeah, but like
Yeah, I mean the what's labeled as above, that would make sense to you. I think most of the rooms at this point, almost all of them actually. But what's labeled as below, that is not clear to you where that's supposed to be. And the shoreline doesn't. You haven't seen any of that yet. We're ready to go back. Leave this screen.
yeah, I think so.
Mhm. Yeah, that door seems to be open as well.
Yeah, there's another open door. That's right. Soma spots another open door at the end of the corridor. And you
More
look
beds.
into a yeah, you look into a sparsely appointed chamber here. It contains a single mat in the far corner of the room and a small desk on the south wall with an iron strongbox sitting under it. A bowl with some gray gruel and a spoon are the only items on the desk.
Mm-hmm. Does would shaking the box do anything?
Hang on here. Well, it rattles. There seems to be a bunch of stuff inside, and it's not small.
Oh,
Also, it doesn't seem to be locked.
well, I guess then we open it. Well, someone opens it.
Take a look inside.
Now this is a good thing. And someone will call out like, wait, guys, and don't go far. And she will pull the box to the probably to the door, so everyone could just come up and take something. Look what I found. And she will like.
What did you
pr-
find?
Well, she will present it, the contents to the box to everyone, which have at least 4 healing potions in there, which by now should all be all familiar to us. I'll take at least one.
If I were to drag it, would it take only one? Do we get
I just did it, yes.
yes, we can type in an amount.
All right, I guess give one to Sandy too.
Mm-hmm.
The healing potion. There we go. Did that work?
Does bark skin potion still works like a bark skin potion?
I believe that's actually an oaken resilience potion.
I'll let you handle it then.
Well, I can already cast that on my own, but
Would it make sense for Sandy to take that?
maybe Sandy, you know, if Sandy feels like getting extra resistant to bludgeoning and piercing and weakness to fire.
Well, he has some resistances. I'm not sure what the resistances are actually, but no, not sure how it would stack. But I'm just gonna throw it in his inventory and let Matt figure that out. Okay, yeah. So, anything else you want to do in here?
Nope.
I will
I guess we
drag
can.
the gold to the
Yeah,
stash.
yeah.
Mm.
All right, coins in the stash.
And the last door seems to be locked. Soma.
Well, the door is actually, well, maybe it's locked too, but it's hard to tell because it's just barricaded from this side. There's a bunch of rubble that's been piled up on top, and it seems to be opening this way. So can't open it right now. Looks like you could just, unbarricade it. It would just take quite a bit of time because someone's done a thorough job barricading it.
Well, I guess we can come back here later.
I suppose so.
Well, where else are we gonna go? Sandy says. You don't want to go down? I mean, got nowhere else to go. Do we?
All right, then, Sandy, get to work.
All right.
Barricade that door.
Okay, he says. And gets to work. Anybody gonna help him?
Ottardo will.
Okay. Anyone else?
Well, I'm not sure there's enough space for the three of us.
Sure. You can do like a little what is it? Like a bucket line, basically. You just grab a piece and you hand it down the corridor and throw it into the little chamber.
I'll just inspire
Start.
confidence.
Right. All right, you're carrying the whole operation here.
While they're doing that, I'm just gonna keep working on the fruit situation.
Okay. Yeah, because we're definitely looking at a few hours here. So let's see.
Oh, in that case, that's plenty of time for me to get everyone up to full.
All right. So that makes 168 for Sandy. And yeah, I don't know where it says Bark. Probably I still had you selected. And about 2 hours later, so let me see. Okay. So about 2 hours later, the door is clear, but also Bark. I mean, you've probably been in that room there because it's a lot more comfortable than just standing in the hallway as you're preparing the cornucopia over and over again. And at some point, you notice a little latch on the eastern wall that's well hidden, which then leads you to realize that there's another secret door over here. Do you want to open it?
The bark is just just popping like a mango in his mouth and comes over, looks at it. He's gonna yeah, he'll open it. Why not?
And well, if somebody brings you some light, I guess you don't need it.
I have dark
He's somewhat
vision.
disappointed because if you thought like, oh, a secret door, there must be something worth hiding in there, but it's literally an empty 10 by 10 foot stone chamber. Nothing. Just solitude.
He turns to the others.
Hey, something kind of weird back here.
All right, and finally, the barricade is gone, and the door is ready to be opened up.
So that was enough time for even to Soma get to the floor, right?
I would think
Yeah, it's
so.
gonna be hours of time. Yeah.
Yeah. You open the door and you look out into a very, very strange sight. There are fungi growing in the natural cavern beyond, but not just, little mushrooms, but almost tree-like sized fungi, some reaching nearly the high ceiling of the cavern, which is 50 feet overhead. Here and there, you can spot the remains of some old paths, but most of them are covered with clumps of smaller fungus or patches of pale slime. Spores drift through the air, and the huge red blooms on the fungi shift as though in a wind, although there is no wind here. And with that, we're going to end today's session.